Mr. Late Night Jiggy, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm great. I feel amazing. I'm happy to be here. We're in Miami. It's a good day, like 90 degrees. So, we're here.
No, I'm happy for you. Speaking of good days, you just dropped Flavors 3, the trilogy of your EP. You say you in Miami. I kind of get those vibes, good spiritual, fun vibes, music vibes, cultural vibes. So I got to know with the latest drop, how do you feel?
No, I'm very excited because Flavors 3 has been like a highly anticipated thing from my supporters. And I feel like it's some of the best music that I've made to date. So I'm just happy to be able to put it out and work with people that want to work with me. Like on the project, I work with like my producers, my guys, Chuki and Contracts. Um, I have Mahez on there. I have uh, I have Simon Dice, like um, my dog Suena Eso from Colombia. So these are all guys that really they like what I do, and I'm a fan of them. And you know what I'm saying, the feeling's mutual. The business was easy. So I just got to really worry about the music, and you know, it was a vibe. So I'm excited to answer the question.
And also, no, I love that because especially like when creating things or just being creative in general, things could take a left turn real quick. So, the fact that you're able to come together with different people and create without an issue, it's a
Mhm.
beautiful concept.
For sure.
And when it comes to your music, I read that, you grew up playing the clarinet, saxophone, the drums. I played the sax myself, right? And I know how that impacted me when it comes to music. So I want to know how did that, if any, impact you and then in regard when creating your own music, because playing instruments is like a different form of music education.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the saxophone is one of those instruments that's super slept on. Maybe not like, or at least to the people that I be around and like that I grew up with. I feel like if I'm like, yo, I played the saxophone, and they're like, what saxophone? Like, what is that? Like, you know?
I got
But
that.
yo, saxophone is one of them. Was one of them ones like you hear it and you know like that's a you know what I mean. And I really love jazz too. And uh yeah, so I just feel like jazz is like a main one of those main instruments. You hear like little things that happen that only I feel like the saxophone can can do. And when I was playing saxophone in I think it was elementary school, I was doing all the solos. So you know what I mean? I had that pressure on me and I really had to lock in. So I had that connection.
It's a that sax solo hit different because people be questioning you, but once you get that horn up, you get the plane, everybody look at you. It's like you shut it down, like you hear
Yeah,
every note, like you can't mess up because we gonna talk about you. I ain't had the experience that I did very well for myself, if I say so myself.
for
But saxophone is a key. It's a key. It's important.
sure. For sure.
But having, that musical background, playing instruments, and also being from them DMV area,
Yeah.
how did that portray or have a part in how you may create or produce the music or just personally growing up in that area?
I feel like so I love go-go for one. And I used to play in a go-go band. And I feel like there's a certain rhyme style that goes with like go-go and that type of movement. And I definitely listening. I was just talking to my dog about this. I said, yo, listening to my stuff now and like my rhyme schemes, my rhyme patterns, I feel like it's very go-go. Like I listen to like pocket beats and like that, and like that the way that people rap and like you know what I mean. Even the singing and the I don't know, but it's definitely you can feel that if you from the DMV area and you really tapped in with like the music that people like us grew up on, you're gonna feel that, you're gonna hear that for sure.
And you're not wrong. Cause listen, when you hear go go, like you know it. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you sleeping now. I'm sorry
And
for you. But if you
live,
know it,
it's live music, and I love implementing this live sound in my vibe.
no, and that's definitely like as I listen to it, you can definitely feel that sort of energy that comes from go go, like that energy that comes from playing instruments. Like there's a different, like I said, different level that comes from musicality, just having that experience, you know?
And there's also like a certain type of swing. So like, and that's another thing with live music. Obviously guys wear these earpieces and they have these clicks like for a certain metronome at a certain time, but obviously, everybody's human and everybody's gonna go off beat a little bit, but you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know, there's this certain swing with go-go that I really love, and I always make sure that my music has the same sort of swing when it comes to like the delivery of the words.
Gotcha. No, and you're not wrong. Like go-go music definitely do like it hit different. Like it's not like you can get go-go anywhere else. Like it's a different form of music that was built and raised right there. So like it's something if you can pick up on it, you got it. But if you're not from nearby anywhere, even me being out way from Baltimore, like if you just not near it, you're not gonna get it. You can try, but it's not gonna be implemented right, you know?
Exactly.
But when it comes to that, right, like even in your music, like I said, you can hear the live interpretation, you can hear like how you put forth energy into it, but you're also able to like cross genres and blend different styles, right? So like
Yeah.
what is that creation process like for you?
Honestly, I don't stress. I don't like overthink it too much. I just kind of, I think of all my influences. I think of all the things that I love, and I think of all the things that I like to hear, and I kind of put them in one through me. Like it's me expressing myself artistically, but like it's very you can hear my influences. As an example, I go to like a predominantly a Hispanic party where like Spanish music is being played a lot of the time. You'll hear like Sean Paul, for example, and people will be singing like, what I'm saying, the melody screaming, but 9 times out of 10 people don't know what it was being said. And that's a vibe to me. Or I go to, let's say, a party where it's mostly like American, like Black American people, and you'll hear like a Spanish song being played, and people will be, I mean, like if they know it, they gonna vibe to it and sing to this. And I realized growing up and going to these parties that with the music, it's about the energy. Like no matter what's being said, people are gonna feel like if it reaches them, they're gonna feel it and they're gonna sing it no matter what. So, and my music, I kind of just try to put these influences in it and do it with no rules because I know that if it connects with people and people feel the energy in the song, they're gonna love it no matter where they're from.
To keep building, this music career that you have thus far, what has been one of your most meaningful moments, as a rising artist?
I was literally just before talking to you right now. I just got off the phone with one of my friends, Nick, and he was asking me how it felt to perform to open up for an artist named El Alfa. So I opened up for him in an arena. This is my first time doing an arena, and this was like maybe a month ago, and it was a lot of people there. Like it's an arena, like, and I tell everybody turn on the lights, the room lights up, and it's crazy. But I told him, he asked me literally the same question. He's like, "Yo, like, how does that feel? Or like, what's the most like the craziest moment?" And I told him this moment was crazy, opening up for El Alfa and the lights turning on. But it was a year ago when I had an acoustic, like a more curated private
Mm.
event show type thing. There's probably like 50 people there, but I handpicked most of the people. I had just a guitarist and a percussionist, and it was very intimate. And the most meaningful moment was I was singing this song that I have called Lonely. And I literally looked in the back and I seen it was like three girls crying. Like I'm singing, I see tears coming down their eyes, and I'm like, yo. And in that moment, it's like, I have there's a lot of energy on me, a lot of eyes on me. Um, so when things like when things like this happen and you in a moment, you in a vibe, I'm singing, I'm not I kind of like blocked it out in the moment. But after I finished singing and after the show was done, they came up to me and they explained to me that this song really hit them. The like everything about it, the lyrics, the melodies, the guitars, and these girls are in tears, like, and I think that was the most meaningful moment for me. That's when I've had crazy moments too, like songs do really well, and I meet these famous people or these guys, like they hit me up like, yo, you're fire, whatever, like crazy moments. But I feel like that has to be hands down the biggest one thus far.
No, that's beautiful. The fact that, like your music can hit people like that, but you're physically able to see it hitting that person. Like that's a different sort of,
That was
moment and how you felt.
that was big.
But naming that moment, right? Naming the intimate moment and then also like the stadium moment, how do you prepare, for the two? Because like you said, the stadium, whole bunch of people, and that's pressure, but also the intimate moment. I can feel like that's the different amount of pressure because that's
Yeah.
all amount of people. That's more intimate. That's all eyes directly on you. So how did you prepare for the two?
Um, I don't really have like a preparing routine or anything. I'm big on just like living in the moment and like just seeing what happens. Like so I don't know.
You
I don't
said
know.
you professional. You ain't gotta wear. You good. That's
No, I feel like it's like the opposite of that. Like I don't know. 'Cause I feel like like more professional people like they'll like have ways to prepare for these moments so they don't like fold. And I mean, I feel like a lot of times I folded like under pressure, but I've learned a lot from those situations. You feel me? And I rather, me personally, I rather like, what I'm saying, be in a situation where I have this pressure on me, and if it's a situation where I fold or I take an L, like I'm gonna learn from it. But if I just go off me living in the moment, I get to really absorb it. And let's say I do something crazy happens, I can really, what I'm saying, tap in with my emotions and really feel it and like build that memory. And I don't know, I could be, what I'm saying, sounding crazy or it could be wrong, but that's just me personally. I don't really have a way of preparing for these kind of things. I just go out and just walk with God. I hope that everything gonna be good.
gonna give you one last question because I was looking for this answer, man. I was looking for this answer. I couldn't find a clear one, but I want to know how'd you come up with your name?
So it started as I used to just be a producer
Mm.
and I was making beats and I didn't have a name. Um, and I didn't have an email either. So I had to make an email to start sending beats out and start, just tapping in on the business side. And the word jiggy is a word that we was using at the time. Like it was just, I don't know. You know how there's just like certain lingos that come and go and like
Yeah.
think some things stick and it's like for everything and some things it's like you forget about it. You're like, yo, remember we used to say this? Like, but jiggy was like a word that we was using at the time. And I just made a I just made an email. It was Jiggy Productions. So
I
from
like
there,
that.
It was just Jiggy Production, exactly. So then people just started calling me Jiggy. They're like, what did I call you? So it was just Jiggy because it was Jiggy Productions, Jiggy Beats or whatever. And I don't know, it just stuck. People started calling me Jiggy. And then I started making music, like started going on my beats and whatever. I was like, I can't be called Jiggy Productions if I'm gonna like be dropping music as an artist. So at first my name was it was Jiggy. And then I was like, yo, what is something that like could describe me? Because people calling me Jiggy, but I don't want to be Jiggy the name. So at first it was Jiggy ADHD, but it was an acronym that I had made. I was like, I always wanted like an acronym name. So I just put ADHD and it was like a diehard dreamer, something. But I was like, no, this is kind of whack. So I wanted something because I was making a lot of R&B too at the time, and a lot of times I was working like super late and like just I don't know the vibes was just like just nighttime. So I was like, I kind of want to change my name to just late night, but I was like, I can't leave the Jiggy. You feel me? That's the vibe. So I just put late night and Jiggy together.